Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Cloudsdale Cafe. I'm your host, Ragin Pinkie Pie. Tonight we are joined with Nick, the Canadian Blizzard hamster.
What?
Exactly.
Okay, sure.
And we are also joined by Silver, who is somewhere. Exactly.
Yep.
And we are joined by the mod of Ask Chocolate Pony and the Firefly. I don't know.
Firefly.
Firefly. I was reading
The Firefly.
That's how it looks. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure. So,
You know
does
what?
she work at the Krabby Patty?
Yes.
Good.
Always.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. But
I don't even know what I'm.
thank you for allowing me to cross over to the enemy podcast stream.
Yes.
I'm seceding from my podcast to join you guys.
You're not leaving alive.
Fireflies. Firefly.
Fire rises.
No.
Anyway.
Maybe we should just do a Bane voice this whole episode.
Batman,
Batman.
you should leave the
Batman.
other podcast. You should join me. We
Anyway,
were
so-
wounded by it.
And Sin, with his busted ass car, he ran home from his busted ass car to get here.
Oh,
Pretty much.
you can't have chocolate without cinnamon, so of course.
What about a Blizzard
Batman.
from McDonald's?
Oh boy.
Oh,
I have not had a blizzard in a while.
Neither have I. I want to, though.
I don't even know there's a Dairy Queen by me.
I got everything down the road from me, and I live in the boonies.
You live in
You
the
know,
boonies.
I've never been to a Sonic's either. I've never seen a Sonic.
There are like 5 Sonics in the county where I live.
I see commercials for Sonics all the time in California and Maryland, but I've never seen a single one. I never drove past one.
It's
I
only
never-
in the States. There's none in Canada. I don't mind.
You have Tim Horton.
That is why I don't mind.
Isn't that like a Goodwill or something? I don't know.
Hmm?
Isn't like a Tim Horton like a Goodwill or something?
No.
I have no idea. Oh. Why would you name it Tim Horton? That's kind of stupid.
Whatever. I won't give you a brief history on Tim Hortons. But
All
anyway,
you have to know is that we will evade it in 2025.
that's true. Yeah, that from that comic. But anyway, what are the topics for
Well-
this week?
Well, they have just released some info on the My Little Pony Equestria Girls. It's coming to theaters in June 16th.
Ooh.
Yes, boo, indeed. The good thing is it's not coming to my hometown, so I don't give a flying fuck about it. So, for all you poor bastards, you get to go see a shitty crossover that is non-canon to be, let's hope to God it's non-canon. They've said it, but who knows. But
You crazy bronies get all so worked up over these little insignificant things.
personally, it's a horrible, 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 crossover to the human world version.
Is it a crossover? Because
It
what
is
other
a crossover.
property is like okay,
Like it's like if you've seen on Tumblr where they have like a scale of from like pony version to human version. It's stuck at the number 4th version. Between the 4th
well,
and
that's
3rd
good
version.
because 4 in Chinese means death, so it's going to be the death for the franchise.
Oh, I doubt it's gonna.
Hooray!
It's non-canon, but it's horrible. They're humanized, but they have ears and wings, so they're all anthro.
Granted that the demographic that they're aiming for is not us, so I'm pretty.
But the whole
I'm not
show is
so-
not for it.
I'm not so sure exactly who is this aimed for. I guess like.
I thought it was like teenage girls.
I thought it
teenage
was
girls.
aimed
Yeah.
for mildly retarded children.
I guess
No,
it
probably
was
not.
like. Aimed
I guess
for-
to be fair, I think I think everyone's going to take the side where this is going to be the worst thing ever. Like I know when we do our podcast, it'll probably be that way, but I guess to offer the counterbalance, it might be good. you know?
Yeah.
You
I
have to
will
get
I
watch
would
it.
not
I
doubt
will
one.
watch it. But if
Yeah.
it's as bad as Journey to the Spark, I'm just going to shoot myself.
Like I will probably watch it. I don't know if I'll watch it or not. Like I'm not gonna go out of my way just to see it. But if it's out in theaters by me, I might see it. If it's bad, I'll just ignore it and not rant about it. If it's good, then I'll probably continue watching it. But that's about it.
I'll definitely not pay for it. Definitely not.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch it for free online.
Yeah, pretty sure. And
I
don't
was
even like-
hoping Christopher Nolan would direct it, but that's a shame.
that would be asking too much.
Yeah, I
Yes.
posted the pic on. You can tell it's just horribly designed.
It
And this
doesn't
is
look promising. I mean,
Why are
just
they?
looking at it, like the mirror and like the contrast between the two, it just it doesn't.
Wait,
look
let me look at this picture. Why doesn't the human Twilight have horns, but she has wings?
And she has a tail and ears and purse.
somebody
has no-
did like a somebody did like a very funny comic about that. Someone realized like, hey, where are their horns? And someone like,
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
yeah, it's like if you saw it on Tumblr, you
Oh,
kind of know what I'm talking
Tumblr's
about,
where
but I
it's
won't go
at.
into any details.
Mhm.
Okay,
That's
okay,
probably-
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
but
This is how it goes. My Little Pony Equestria Girls is a brand new, full-length featured, introducing an exciting new dimension to the incredibly popular My Little Pony brand. When a crown is stolen from the Crystal Empire, why is it always the Crystal Empire? That is the new Ponyville. Season 3 and 4 is going to be nothing but the Crystal Empire. Let's move Ponyville and move it to the Crystal Empire. Come on now.
You know, I actually
Just
thought
put it
I thought all of season 3 would be a complete Crystal Empire.
It still is
season.
a lot.
Because you
I
know when they
changed-
were when the previews when the rumors were just coming out about the My Little Pony movie, I actually thought that season 3 would basically be a full length movie, but spread out over 13 episodes, all featuring Crystal Empire. And I
That'd
thought
be
that would
great.
probably been a better idea than what they're doing right now.
yeah, I mean, this kind of feels like kind of fisted in, and like a drop of a hat. They're making this story, so I don't really feel that this will contribute to anything in the franchise at all, other than the huge mistake that we'll try to forget. So I don't know. We're already like dooming this before it even starts. It's kind of funny how like this is like a mob mentality right now, since like
I hope we're not on the wrong side of the things, because I know people who are on the wrong side when they were hearing about G4 ponies coming out, and they were on the wrong side of the
They were
aisle.
all
They actually
dissing it and everything.
Oh yeah, and like even the most credible like news sources and critics who dissed it now are out of a job and are not allowed to do any more reviews because they miscalculated it so bad. So
yeah, that's the reason why I haven't like bashed on it that much. Like in terms of aesthetics, it doesn't look pleasing to me.
It reminds me of the Smurfs movie.
Yeah, okay. There are more worse adaptations and who are abominations than this, and I for one, like me being sort of a film snob and an animation snob, I always like to give things a chance, because who knows, there might be something that can be appreciated. I always try to find anything that could be, like, oh, they did this well, and I can enjoy it from that perspective. So I'll try to look at it with an open mind. And granted that all of us have seen like My Little Pony, like G4, with fresh minds. Like we did not know what to expect, and we were pleasantly surprised. So we can be pleasantly surprised with this movie as well. But then again, we can also be very disappointed.
It's not saying how long it is, but what it also says is they go to an alternate world where she's transformed into a teenage girl who must survive her biggest challenge yet. High school.
it's kind of like the Mad TV parody where they had Naruto go to like Beverly Hills, that 90210 Naruto crossover, and it's just like, oh really? Is high school really that? It's like every single thing. This brave warrior is transported to the human world, or this giant robot now has to face reality. High school. It's just like, is high school really the whatever?
High school is not that bad. I mean,
It's not.
it'd be
But every kid's show tries to do the premise. You take any random character from like fantasy or sci-fi and something. It's like, now they're in high school. How are they going to survive drama and prom class and blah blah blah?
I still
Really?
say they should throw them into boot camp. See how she
Oh
survives.
yeah, I
in
went.
boot camp.
I went to military high school. So for me, boot camp, military, and high school are the same thing.
I've already went through it fucking like 5 years ago. I thought that sucked. It sucked more than going to Afghanistan. That's all I'm gonna say. Because
No.
seriously,
You know what is funny? I actually never had a real high school experience because I went to a military boarding school. So when I actually do watch these shows about high school, I don't know if if that's what high school is really like, or if it's just a parody of high school.
it's
Because I'm like,
drama because you get pulled into drama. If you know how to stay away from drama, you're fine. But if you
it's
have
a really foreign concept to me, actually. The whole entire.
The
high
thing
school
is, I want Equestria Girls to pretty much be like Degrassi, if any of you have ever seen that.
I've
It's where
seen
every
one
teenage
episode.
girl got pregnant Everyone was cheating on each other. True high school in its essence,
I
right
think
there.
the only high school movie that I ever saw that I actually thought was good was Mean Girls.
I thought you were
Because I
gonna-
think that was kind of the pinnacle of high school movies, and I think if they did Equestria Girls as Mean Girls, that would be awesome.
All right, the pinnacle. Okay, we're talking about pinnacle of teen movies because that was a teen movie.
Not another
I'm
teen
sorry, I
movie
think
is the
Bref-
pinnacle.
Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club was the pinnacle of the teen.
Oh
movie.
yeah,
that
Breakfast
was
Club
the best.
really good.
Well, what about not another teen movie? That best explains high school.
Yeah, but like if you want like a real, like how the attitudes of a teenager is, the insecurities, the dispositions,
Yeah, high
like,
school. Yeah, that was.
everything of like what it is to living in high school. The Breakfast Club just captures so well.
It does.
Now, going back to what we're talking about, like the like high school. This actually reminds me of something. This reminded me when they were announcing Legend of Korra. Now, I am not joking when I'm saying this. When I saw like the official trailer from Nickelodeon, they made it sound so corny. Like if she's going the same thing. Like the concept was that she's going to high school, but it was this voice. Like it was like a Rob Schneider movie from South Park. You remember that? The same freaking voice.
Stapler.
Okay. If you guys know the Rob Schneider like
the
parody
world
trailers from
there.
South Park, yeah, that was the same feeling. It's like 60 years ago, Avatar Aang bring balance to the world. Now
It's over.
a
It
new
was. I think it
Avatar
was 100
emerges.
years. It was 100 years. I think.
No, it was 60 years. It was
Oh, it
60
was?
years. Yeah, and then a new avatar emerges, but now she has to face the ultimate challenge.
With her giant-
mastering the elements. Herpa derpa derp.
With her giant polar bear dog.
Yeah, it was so. I was like,
It sounds so
What?
corny, but it was an
Yeah.
okay season. I mean, I really feel like they've only made it for one season.
no, and like they did like the most worst trailer ever, dumbing down what's the series really is about, and once you
The series about
watch Legend of
airbending.
Korra, it is beautiful. Legend of Korra is a beautifully done cartoon
It's
from
okay.
Nickelodeon.
It's
like,
okay.
the music is fantastic. The animation is fluid. There's so much detail in that.
But
God,
the problem
There
is
hasn't
with
been
it
this
is
high
they're-
budget animation in like since like Toonami was like hot. Was
Dude, it's the same as
There
fucking
hasn't
regular
been this high
Avatar.
of
What you don't
animation
understand?
quality since
No.
Jesus.
No, it's like comparing the animation and budget from that Avatar had with Legend of Korra. I'm surprised they made it to 13 episodes. This was like really high budget stuff, and this was really well animated. At least in my perspective, since I know how
It felt
difficult
the
animation
same,
is,
though,
and
it
considering
lacked
that
in
it's
areas like she's already the Avatar, and she pretty much knows all the elements
because
except
remember,
one.
Okay, we can go to a discussion. I can destroy every opinion and thing you can pull out of your ass, but let's save that for another day. Now, here's something that someone on Skype sent me, Banana Pie. Let's talk about this because this was pretty interesting. I don't know what toy this is. It's from like the
What
the
is it?
regular
It's
My Little Pony
burns
toys.
my eyes.
Let me
Yeah,
see.
horrible.
Let me see.
Put
I
that,
need,
Nick, are you putting that in the stream?
no, I'll
Oh,
put
sure,
I'll put it in
I'll
the
do it.
screen. Where is
Yeah.
it?
Put it on the stream, Nick.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got
God.
It, I got it.
We need
got
to
it?
burn it to the
Yeah, but I
ground.
need-
It's
Oh, I gotta
good.
take it down.
Okay.
Never mind.
Look,
I need to-
We can't hear you too,
why are they
when you do
why
that,
are they
Choco.
alicorn thingies? I don't get it. It's
I don't get it either, but
I love how AJ's the only non-alicorn.
yep.
And why
I'm-
why
my
is
feelings are hurt.
why
Damn Earth
is
ponies.
why is the Pinkie Pie one bigger than the Rarity one?
Because that's the model of Celestia.
I have
So
no
and they
idea.
the thing is they ran out of white ink on Rarity.
Ugh.
Rarity is
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
two Celestias in that entire picture, and they're both one's Rarity and one's Pinkie Pie. Then AJ's just AJ.
This is horrible.
My feelings
Very
are-
bad.
I'm
Nick, what do you think? Yes, sir.
as chocolate's throwing up in a bucket.
But yeah, my feelings are quite hurt that there's no alicorn model for AJ.
Good.
Well, maybe because AJ doesn't need to be an alicorn because she's already got it.
No, she isn't.
Oh,
She's a god of. She's
I feel
the god
better
of
now.
She's the god of trailer trash of the show. Oh, did I
Oh
say
my
that
God.
out loud?
Rachel,
Oh.
you're a dude.
God.
You're a dude.
Oh, all the AJ fans are all butthurt after that comment I made.
Your
I
turn,
mean,
Ragin.
okay, what exactly is this? Why are they everyone's alicorn? Apparently someone just
Apparently
just
some
someone that
horrible.
hate.
I don't know, man. I don't.
Okay, I can make a theory right here. Someone that was working with the boxes got really hurt because everyone hates alicorn. So he said, "Well, then I'll make everyone an alicorn."
Yeah,
And
right.
now one day they'll love my OC.
They're
I
gonna
like-
love me.
I like how in the fine print, specifications, colors, and content may vary from illustrations.
No
Well,
shit.
okay.
You know, I think I have a theory of why all this stuff is happening. Why Equestria Girls and all these alicorns are happening. Maybe they really don't want to deal with us crazy bronies, and they just want to slowly weed us out of the fandom by introducing these little silly stuff as a way to say, yeah, we don't care about you guys. Just go shoot.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Just get their
Stupid people.
broom and just kind of whack us off their porch.
Get out of here, you stupid.
Like, this is a
bastards.
really smart approach if you think about it. Like, Equestria Girls, alicorns, this is genius. They just want to get rid of us, bronies.
They are
They're going one step
diabolical.
beyond.
And some people are
They're
saying
going-
like these are knockoffs, but I'm thinking it's like they still have the official My Little Pony logo on it. That's the thing.
Ah,
Yeah. I mean,
So like it would be like if it was like a knockoff or something, it'd be like his little pony or their little pony.
I could also say it's
That
like my little Esquians acquaintances
Tiny horsey.
are great.
My little
my tiny horsey.
Tiny horsies, witchcraft, Hindu, whatever, voodoo crap. I don't know.
Sonic 06, 10 out of 10. There you go.
I gotta go fast.
You gotta go fast.
Pretty much.
I gotta go
yeah.
so fast.
An alicorn toy.
Too
That's,
fast for you.
It's a thing. But yeah, this is like there's a lot of weird things that are going on with toys and stuff like that. Oh boy! But speaking about toys, that's my Skype.
Yep. Didn't
Yep,
realize it
now
was gonna be so
everybody
big.
sees it.
Whoopsie.
Everyone knows
I see
now. My
your Skype.
identity's not a secret.
Just so people understand who's talking and stuff.
All right, that's cool.
Except me.
It's okay, Nick. You're always the last of the kids.
But you're the most popular one if you know if you're
That's 'cause I'm
asking.
the only
everyone in
one
the chat
in the
knows you.
chat. I'm the only one who
Yeah.
talks in the chat.
I can't talk because I'm like focused on other things. But speaking about toys, I was on a friend of mine's podcast, Brony Talk, and he was interviewing one of the head media directors for Everfree Northwest, the convention. And in one of his conventions, he showed a video of an auction. And that auction, of course, most of the money goes straight, all of the money goes straight to charity. It was the charity was going to a children's hospital in Seattle. Now, what they were auctioning was a derpy toy signed by a bunch of voice actors from the show, and signed by, and most importantly, signed by the voice actress that did the voice of Derpy. Interestingly enough, she misspelled her own name, and then she corrected herself in parentheses with an oops. And yeah, and it was that was a very unique Derpy toy. It was like the
one of a
new
kind.
ones. Yeah, like it was a full plastic one, like the hair's all plastic and stuff, and it was like one of a kind. So the starting bid was like, it started quickly at $50 and $100, and then it skipped to
it's gonna-
$500, and it went up to $700+ and the person who got the toy, he immediately gave it back
Wait,
Right.
why?
because he just wanted to give the money to charity. He didn't.
Can you just have, he
Oh.
didn't have to auction. He could have just been like, here's $3 grand.
He paid for it. He was gonna pay for it, but he just gave it back to the original owner afterwards.
I wish I had money to burn. Wait, I do.
So that was like pretty freaking generous of him.
That is generous.
Look,
You
he
give
should
me-
have given it to like a little kid or someone who couldn't afford it.
Well, I guess the thing that they want to do after that, I guess what they wanted to do was using it as some sort of a trophy in other auctions for charity to see how much money that particular dopey toy people can put on it so they can give it to charity.
Do they all have to give it up now?
I guess they're not allowed to keep it up. I mean, a person can just keep it if it wants to, but they're encouraged to keep handing it down, passing it along, and seeing how much money that toy can generate for charity. And then after a while, it can get all beat up, and it would have numbers of how many money it has made for charity, and it's a really impressive thing, and it shows that this, of all of the disturbing and horrible things that happening in this fandom, is really good to know that there are some genuine good things.
Yeah, for sure.
For the good people out there. But speaking on next topic, who's seen the Build-A-Bear versions of Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash?
I have.
There is a new version of it. There is Twilight now and Spike.
Hooray!
My only
I've not seen
complaint.
the Spike. What does the Spike look like?
Yeah,
He
I've
just
seen
looks
the
like
Spike
Spike. I
one. Wow, thanks. You were really.
I thought I posted. Damn it! I thought I posted both
Build a
pictures.
Bear Spike. I'm looking it up. No.
No, I got it right here.
I have to look it up on my own now. Thanks a lot.
No, it's
Yeah,
right here.
Ragin,
There you go.
jeez.
Jesus Christ.
No, Twilight has interesting hair.
Mhm.
Kind of bald in the middle.
It has
Oh,
kind
still.
of like a stick for a snout.
I'm
for
posting
Twilight.
Spike up there right now.
Oh no, I already got it.
You know what?
I think
God
Twilight will
damn
be
it.
the first. She'll be the first unicorn plush to have. Oh, she's an alicorn. Never mind.
yeah.
You ruined it.
Yeah, so they did a good. So it's canon now. She is going to be an Alicorn for.
They need to find another unicorn for their group because now Rarity is singled out. That's the only unicorn
Mhm.
in their
Well,
little
true.
group.
she technically, Twilight being an
Oh,
Alicorn is
okay.
singling everybody out because now we have a princess among the main 6. So it's technically the main 5 now.
See, now they need to get Trixie on as their other unicorn.
Twilight's been replaced by Trixie.
Yeah.
Twilight,
That would
Trixie,
work.
you're the new Twilight.
She's like, screw that.
Read this book.
Screw you,
Okay.
bitches! I'm out. I'm gonna go live in a castle.
I guess. But and now you think about it, it's like this is why I think the main 6 in terms of characters
I called for
are
background
just
ponies.
so well done
Need to
because
make new
all
main
of them
6.
complement each other and they're all in perfect balance.
Like the thing is, if you've seen the tweet from Tara Strong, Twilight isn't going to be leaving her friends, but the voice acting is going to be passed on to Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
I'm
that's gonna be
100%
awesome.
okay with this.
I'm
That's
100% okay with this too because seriously, Morgan Freeman as Twilight, they're gonna be like, Twilight, what's with your voice? I am God now.
I'm God.
I am God now.
I am God now. No one can do Morgan Freeman besides Morgan Freeman.
Or,
I'm God.
C.
or one of C. Manners.
Not
Not
Yeah,
C.
or-
Nanners, it's Gassy Mexican.
Oh,
One
sorry,
of his
yeah.
friends.
Nah, jeez,
One
yeah,
of
it's
his
Gassy
friends
Mexican.
can
It's
play.
I don't know
yeah,
why
it's
I said
Gassy
seen it.
Mexican. He's
Yeah.
the only one that could do every voice known to man.
Oh yeah, he can do a lot of
He
voices.
does the Joker and Mickey Mouse perfectly.
He
And
does Stewie and Peter Griffin as well. Really
I don't.
well.
That's a guy who has a gift that he doesn't know how to exploit it yet.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's about time that we actually start up the interview.
Oh, it's already. Oh yeah, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Shit.
You took up all my speaking time, Ragin. Thanks for that. But anyway,
Well, you can file it in the complaints department.
Well,
yeah,
actually, I'm actually I just actually showed the picture of the creepy alicorn box you guys posted to the Derpy Hooves news people, and they're telling me that's actually a bootleg toy.
really?
So-
Oh,
That's
really?
actually a bootleg. Okay.
Yeah.
So remind me never to get facts from Ragin again. Thank you.
I didn't
So-
send you shit.
Yeah, you did. Anyway. But okay, so it was a
Blame
bootleg.
it.
Interesting.
Oh well. It's on EQD, so go look it up.
But yeah.
You guys trust EQD? Funny.
I know, right?
Um,
Hey, it's the only place, really.
I've honestly never
That's-
gone to either. I feel bad, but
EQD
Anyway.
does a good job. They suck. Oh, did I
Wow.
say that out loud?
that's rude, Ragin. That's just rude.
You
But
think I
anyway, we
care?
should probably start that interview that you keep rudely interrupting, Ragin. I'm singling
Hey,
you
I
you
out
know,
on that one.
I know
Here's
what
here's
I'm
like
doing.
here's a really good tactic I like to do. So, Chocolate Pony,
I hate
welcome
you
to
so
the
much.
show. It's very nice that you abandoned those peasants from the other podcast, those cold white bread clan, and you've joined us. We are toasty and buttery,
And it's
And
really
we live
nice
in
to have
Clouds, and we own a cafe,
Yeah.
so we have money.
We're like we're having you suspended in the hot air
rolling
balloon.
it. We're rolling
at
in the
the moment.
mares.
So let's just start pretty much the basics here. So we know that you got your idea out of like a background, like a background character, which wasn't even a character to begin with. It was an object.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
He only
So-
appeared, I think, in the episode for like 3 seconds.
Yeah. So did you intentionally wanted to capitalize it because of people's obsession with characters that only appear for 3 seconds?
No, because I didn't even know anything about Tumblr. I never had a Tumblr blog when I first actually started it. I guess you guys want me to tell you how it got started?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
sure.
So, I guess I wasn't really too involved with the fandom, but I was watching a live stream. I think we were watching the new Hearts and Hooves Day episode. And beforehand, they were live streaming some previous episodes. And we were kind of joking that any pony that appears in the background, even if they appear for like a few seconds, will automatically have a blog. And around that time, the Apple Bloom episode popped up, the Sudie Mark episode.
Bloom.
And then I saw the chocolate pony statue. I was joking, oh, I bet you someone made a blog for that pony already. And people started laughing. I looked, and the blog wasn't in existence. So I was like, oh, I've never done a Tumblr blog before, so let me try. And that's how it got started. I actually intended it to be a joke because I knew nothing about Tumblr. I basically copy and pasted the exact same image over and over again since it's just a statue. And surprisingly, I think within like the first 24 hours, it got like a few hundred follows already. And I was like,
Wow.
okay, this might be something. And I stuck with it. And in 3 days, there was like 1,000 followers. I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess people like this, so I'll just continue. So that's how it got started.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. Oh, no, you were like the talk of Tumblr for quite a while. I mean,
I didn't even know that.
everyone, like me being like in the circuit, like when most of the Tumblrs were like other of the mods of Tumblr, they were just all about talking about Choco. I'm like, oh geez, this guy's like getting like followers like crazy. You basically you were the one holding most records for fast follower count in all of Tumblr Pond. And like everyone was just
Until I
talking
think
about your blog.
UC77, his hot-blooded Pinkie Pie is probably the best. I think he got like 1,000 in like the first hour.
Yeah, it's like
It's just crazy.
another one was like Pellet Swap, which is starting getting like thousands of followers within like a short time. You know, it's like there's blogs like that. They just explode because apparently people's subconsciousness say they must follow blog because person said so, and that for reasons makes me relevant. But anyway, that's kind of how Tumblr works in this weird animalistic way. You probably never expected that this would have been so hot.
I didn't even know anything about Tumblr Pond back then. Like the only 3 blogs I knew were Ask Surprise, and that was because they were reblogging all of Will's stuff on Equestria Daily and on other sites. Japawak, and that was only because of the Dot Move series. And then Sweetie Poo, and that was only because I think Japawak reblogged Sweetie Poo. So those were the only 3 blogs I knew back then. I didn't know there was a whole entire community of different people with Ask blogs and stuff.
Okay. And as Sin just kind of falls on his keyboard there.
Oh, he always
Like-
does.
What kind of hobbies outside of pretty much outside like the internet community and like just kind of like the internet in general? What kind of hobbies do you have?
Well, I guess truth be told, I'm really actually still new to the internet because I went to I think as I told you guys, I went to a military boarding school. And during those 4 years, we really did not have internet access. The only time we had internet was for academic reasons. So I kind of knew nothing about the internet. But I guess during that time, my hobbies were running. I did cross country. We did drill marching drills, like dress parades and stuff. So I actually enjoyed doing that type of stuff. And my own personal hobby was drawing. So I would draw all the time. I actually think I was drawing before I even started walking because that was the first thing my parents gave me was a drawing table as a baby. So,
Really? Oh wow.
Mostly drawing, yeah. And I could work with almost any medium, too. Like, it's not just like pencils or crayons. Like, I could do almost anything from sculptures to like painting and stuff. So I just like working with my hands.
Okay. Cool. Huh. You didn't say the backstory of your blog Firefly, right? Oh no, I kind of zoned out. Back
Oh, I
away,
guess
so-
Firefly was more purposely calculated because I didn't know anything too much about, like I said, Tumblr Pond back then. So I didn't know if all the followers I got for Chocolate Pony was good or not. So I just purposely. It was actually around that time. I guess when my blog was, I guess Chocolate Pony was getting, I guess, more well known or something. I had people commenting, like I wasn't on Skype back then, but I had people telling me that other artists were angry because they said I wasn't an artist because all we did was just copy and paste the same image over and over again. And I was like, well, I could draw, so I started drawing updates, like new updates for Chocolate Pony, and I guess that wasn't really too fun because I really wanted to have a strict show style with Chocolate Pony. So I wasn't really having too much fun at that point. And I was like, well, let me try draw something that I like doing. I was taking art class around that time, and I was forced to draw, perfect anatomy, strict lines, all this good stuff. And I was like, I want to just draw something that's fun. So I started Firefly, and I did it because I wanted to have a loose style. I guess it was loosely based off Ask Surprise and I guess the Japalac style, but it was basically a blog where I could draw any style I want, and the style would not be consistent, so I could change it up as I feel.
At first, when I first saw Firefly, I thought it was like the intention was to annoy the hell of other blogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was actually, I purposely designed it as a parody of other blogs. Like, I see people who actually try to formulate and calculate, like, popular blogs, and they pick specific elements from popular Tumblr blogs and try to make it work for them. And I'm a person who likes originality, so I actually do not like when people try to copy other blogs. So I made Firefly actually as a parody of those types of blogs. So I purposely took elements from other blogs and actually increased the parody of them. Like,
oh, really?
It's a G1 pony, so that's based off Will Draw's Ask Surprise. She's silly, crazy, and cusses a lot, which is based off Japalac's blog. And she is really egotistic, one-dimensional, and basically says her name over and over again like a Pokemon, which is a parody of the Rainbow Dash and Friendship is Witchcraft. So.
I love that. It just defies narcissism.
It brings all the good stuff together.
Yeah, so it's purposely just to troll people, actually.
So like
it was annoy everyone.
Yeah.
Like me.
Yeah, especially you.
Exactly.
That is
like,
my job.
Out of the two, which one do you like working, like kind of drawing for the most?
It depends, because I guess unlike other people, I don't feel compelled to update all the time. Like, if people are saying if you don't update, you lose followers, which is fine with me because I'm not really in it for the followers. I update them when I feel like drawing. So, like, I remember, I guess, back in December, I was watching a lot of episodes where Pinkie Pie and Rarity were having interactions with each other, and I was thinking, I would like to see more Pinkie Pie Rarity interactions. So that's what got me to draw Sparkler and Surprise on the Firefly blog. So I kind of only draw the blogs when I feel like it, or when it's someone's birthday, or when there's a good question. So they change, but right now I guess I've been updating Chocolate Pony a lot more, so I guess that one right now is my favorite blog. But it depends, because I actually, as a blog itself, I think my favorite blog was actually the Scoots and Dash blog, the Schooly Rainbow Dash blog I had back last summer. You guys need me to link that to you, or?
Oh, sure, actually. I didn't even realize you had that.
You can throw that in there. Throw that everywhere.
Yeah. But, like, did you ever expect such a following for your blogs?
I did not really, because, like I said, I know nothing about Tumblr. I was kind of happy that I made friends on there, so that's
Kinda.
Like
Eh.
last, I guess I didn't join Skype until like March, and I think it was around summer when Will dropped added me to his little chat group, and that's where I got to meet like Flavin, Bago, and a lot of the other friends I have right now. So I guess the thing I like best from actually starting the blog was actually getting to meet a lot of new friends.
Okay.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Like, do you have any? Well, like since you like I was just thinking, do you have any future plans for your blogs? Even though you just kind of update them whenever. Whenever.
Yeah,
you feel
no,
like it's
actually, I was trying to end them because, like, I'm a pre-med student, so I need to start focusing on med school and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I was even thinking about doing the Marine Corps officer program, which would mean if I'm doing either Marines or med school, I would have no time. So actually, I was considering ending both blogs last year. And I think if you guys were looking at both blogs, you could kind of see that there was a crossover storyline that we're building up to ending both blogs.
Oh yeah.
And around that time, I was reading a lot of Alan Moore and Grant Morrison comics. And I like how their comics are kind of meta commentaries on the comics industry themselves. So they're shoehorned with a lot of like meta fiction and commentary and self-reflective stuff. So that's what basically both the blogs were. They were, I guess, Chocolate Pony was supposed to represent like the side of the Brony fandom that actually enjoys the show and enjoys doing what they do, and Firefly was supposed to represent like the angry side that really hates the fandom and stuff. And they were supposed to build up to a crossover storyline that would basically end both blogs. But people were actually taking my blog seriously. They were like any of the anti-Brony hate or any of the commentary I had was actually my own personal opinion. So I was like, well, people aren't seeing this as a parody. I guess I'll stop it. So that's why I stopped. I never finished it.
No.
Yeah, I was seeing that kind of like an existential moment with the character, and there was a quote I remember that saying that the fandom was like hot steam that moves and grows really fast, and
Yeah, and like I guess I also I think you saw I had like a lot of other characters in it from different blogs, and all these different characters are supposed to represent different aspects of the fandom, but they didn't actually represent the people themselves. They represented the I guess what the characters represented, like grimdark or fanfic side or art side and stuff. But yeah, I when I realized people weren't understanding what I was trying to present, then I decided, I think go back to having stuff again. Because I realized that even though I love some of those Grant Morrison and Alan Moore stories, after a while it gets so boring when you shoehorn all this meta fiction in it. I'm just like, I just want to go back to fun stories again. So that's why I did my blogs.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'll probably I do kind of have some sort of ending in mind, but that'll probably be after BronyCon.
Speaking of BronyCon, what kind of plans are you having for BronyCon?
I guess as you guys know, I live in Baltimore. I think I am the only Brony in Baltimore. I have yet to see another person. So I am basically the closest to the convention. So I think out of all the people, even though I live like literally 3 blocks from the Baltimore Convention Center, I'm the most ancient because I see it every day. I'm like, why isn't BronyCon here already? So it's been very hard waking up every morning, seeing the convention center out my window, saying, why aren't Bronies here yet? But I do want to, because truthfully, I kind of don't like the city of Baltimore, but since this is my city, I feel like I'm the one who has to be the host and show my friends around. So I'm really excited to actually meet a lot of the Tumblr folks here. And I do want to show people around Baltimore, and that's kind of my thing. And I also have an art table with Flavin Bago, so we're going to have an art table there, and we're also doing 2 panels there at the BronyCon.
Oh, really?
Representing Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were talking about that before. Like, on your art table, like, are you just going to be selling prints or any merchandise?
Prints, I guess prints and keychains. Flavin wants to make something that we could give away for free. So I'm thinking of giving away the Baltimore map I drew for free. So getting a few of those printed out and just handing them out.
Oh, okay.
I guess the thing everyone knows me for are my tarot cards. And the first two conventions I went to last month, Big Apple PonyCon and Cloudsdale Congress, not your guys. Those two cons, like my prints did not sell as much as my tarot cards. So I'm hoping to have my tarot cards done for BronyCon, and I'll be selling them then.
That'd be really cool. Wow.
Then I'm also hoping to get a side comic done that goes with my panel to sell. Like the panel I'm doing, the big panel I'm preparing for is called 100 Years of Narrative Art, from Peter Pan to My Little Pony. And it basically looks at 22 events from the end of the Victorian era to the modern day that have shaped how we perceive modern entertainment and culture. And
Sorry.
I was going to make slideshows that go along with it. So it would basically be like a cartoon history of how like Citizen King was filmed, or how Alan Moore wrote Watchmen. And I was thinking of collecting that into like a comic book format that I would probably sell to the BronyCon as well.
Yeah, like if I was able to go to BronyCon, I'd love to actually watch that kind of stuff. But
Same here.
But like, what kind of things are you expecting with BronyCon? Like even with the like 24/7 kind of schedule it's having.
I'm not sure, because even like the Baltimore Convention Center has a lot of conventions. I've been to a few. There's been coin conventions. Otakon is the largest anime convention on the East Coast. The Baltimore Comic Con is the home of the Harvey Awards. And those are really big events, and they're not even 24/7. And BronyCon is so small compared to Otakon, and I don't know if they have the whole convention center or not, but I have actually no idea how they're going to keep it running for 24/7.
I don't know. That's kind of like, there's going to be raves. I understand that,
Yeah.
like probably till like 3 in the morning. But after
Like,
that,
I
everybody's
am
going to be like,
friends with some of the staff members there, but I don't want to speak ill about them. But I never been to I never been to BronyCon before, so I have no idea what they're doing. But I truthfully don't know what they're going to do. But if they could pull it off, I will be really, really impressed.
If they could pull it off and make sure that not a horrible incident happens, then yeah.
somebody doesn't
No
die
fire.
or get stabbed.
No fires, no
You're
horrible
right.
rumors of hotels doing
But
things that they
they picked a
shouldn't.
good place, though. I'm actually happy to pick Baltimore, because there's a lot to do. Like, if you don't want to stay in the convention center all day, it's right by the Inner Harbor. You have everything accessible to you.
You can go
It's
swim.
right across from Fort McHenry. I think it's the bicentennial of the War of 1812, and Fort McHenry was where the Star Spangled Banner was written. So you have a lot of stuff to do if you don't want to be stuck in the convention center. And the convention center is big. It has a lot of hotels by it. There's good parking, so I think it's perfect. Unlike, I think, New York, which is really inaccessible.
Brony's invading the harbor. You know, it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
And it's only a week away from, I think, Otacon's the weekend afterwards. So,
So
yeah, big pop culture convention. So if like you're a fan of anime and My Little Pony, then you just book a hotel for a week and you basically go to both.
Yeah. Though,
That sounds perfect.
Though, besides like running the blogs and like going to BronyCon, you also co-run another podcast that we had a crossover with last week, called the Tumblr Podcasters. Like, do you have any future I must have, didn't I? But did you have any?
You failed.
Yeah, probably. But anyway, do you have any future plans with them?
Well, that actually, it started I think last summer. It was if you guys know, I think we only did 13 episodes, yet we started last summer. So it was not really a serious thing. It was just because in I think Will Draw for Foods chat on Skype, we basically have a lot of fun just talking random stuff. Like, we barely talk about ponies or Tumblr. We talk about random animation or stuff like that. So me and Flavor were thinking, well, our Skype conversations are actually pretty good. We might as well just record them, make them into a podcast. And that's how the idea kind of sprung, because we are big fans of Ahmed's and Dash's Ask the Tumblr Ponies. I think that was the first Tumblr podcast interview show, and they stopped doing it, and we were hoping that they would be able to do more, so we decided, why don't we just interview some of our friends. So last summer we basically got like a group of like 13 people from like UC, Flutter Guy, all these people, just to come on, and for like almost 3 to 5 hours we just chatted with everybody.
Really? Oh wow. But like, what kind of things are get?
Or
Skype's crashing.
We don't have
Oh,
weekly.
there
I
it is.
don't like you guys. I think you guys have weekly episodes. We don't. We kind of do it when we feel like it. Lately,
Sorry.
we've been trying to compete with you guys. So we've been trying to get back.
Oh, you're trying to get up in the saddle.
Yeah, we're
back
trying
in
to
the
get back to
saddle.
weekly episodes, but we really have no plans for it. All three of us, Flavin and I and TJ, we all have very different personalities. So we might try other. We might actually have the main show, and we might actually have small shows. So maybe a show with just me and Flavin, or TJ and Flavin, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the idea.
And I know you guys wanted to do like I don't know a show with me. I know it's gonna take like I don't know a couple of months. Maybe you'll forget. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, well, you guys, it's fine.
But the thing is, I'm not just saying. Don't take this the wrong way at all. But
I will.
when it comes to a lot of podcasts, at least the ones I've seen around in YouTube that they post videos and stuff, and how their infrastructure is, there is such a lack of dedication, devotion. Like people don't mean what they say anymore. People don't take immediate action to things that you know. For example, like if I say something that I'm gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
there is a 99.9% that I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it faster than you think.
Yeah.
So
Choco.
that's just I hate talking about myself, but like that's the only example that I can find, and I've done that a lot in this podcast, and I've done it so fast in such a way that I kind of freak everybody out because I kind of put everybody behind.
Yeah, you leave us in the dark 90%.
You know,
of the time.
I think Cinna, you and me are kind of the same because we aren't exactly the hosts of our respective shows. Yet we kind of do the organizing and running behind the scenes stuff, and we both have ponies named after food items that start with a C, so kind of weird. But actually, like today's episode, today's episode, I basically asked Flavin, TJ, and Pinchy yesterday night. I was saying, do you want to do a podcast? Are you guys still on?
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
saying that actually I was hoping to do a podcast yesterday. I was like, do you guys want to do a podcast out of the blue right now? And they were like, sure. But then we realized that TJ was busy with his hockey game, so we decided to do it today. So yeah, we just really do it out of the blue as well.
Oh okay.
And I'm basically in charge of drawing all the I guess title cards. So I usually draw them like within 30 minutes before the podcast even starts. So I
Wow.
basically rush it.
I wish I had that speed because I was working on the title card for today. Didn't quite finish it. I had to rush out the shading and stuff like that, which I hated doing.
That's
but
nice. I like it.
Rachel was yelling in my ear.
No, I was telling you it's fine.
No,
and
you
you're
weren't.
like,
I do like
it's
how
not
you-
fine.
You like how you killed Chocolate Pony though. That's kind of nice.
I was thinking, it's like, I wonder if this is too morbid. But at the time, I'm thinking, it's like, okay, I have no time to think about it. I only have time to draw.
It may be morbid, but he sure is delicious.
Did someone say murder? Wowee!
Wow, this pony's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope that did
But
start.
if you guys ever want to come on our show, we would be happy. But
We
we
invade
originally
yours.
wanted to do. Originally actually were going to do a sit down, question interview type show. But we assumed that almost everyone knows who Will Draw for Food is and Mike the Microphone, all these other people. So we decided, well, we would have these guests on the show and we will not talk about their blogs at all. We'll talk about something completely different, like talk about Tumblr news or even non-pony news.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of the structure for our blog. But for lesser known Tumblr blogs, we wanted to do the traditional sit down interview type show as well.
Yeah, for like, with our interviews and stuff like that, we do have a lot of like the generic questions, like what's the history behind it, stuff like that.
But we
Which
also
I
get
would
off
like
topic.
like what I would like to kind of stray away from a bit. But as
Actually, you
Sid
guys
is
are the
dropping his
first
dice-
people to actually do the ask about my Tumblr blog.
Really?
Yeah, I've never talked about my Tumblr blog on my podcast. I've not been invited on other podcasts to talk about my blog specifically. So you guys are actually doing the first sit down question interview type thing with
Yes.
for Chocolate Pony and Firefly.
Well, this is what we've always done, and we've always kind of strived for, like, an interview with somebody. Like the first half hour, we talk about whatever. And we still talk about whatever through the entire show, but we still try to get some questions out and all that stuff.
Yeah, and like with it, like I try to kind of like get like kind of know more about the person behind the blogs and stuff like that. Like I also like kind of ask like about general like kind of behind the scenes stuff, but like I also like to try and learn about like the person behind the blog, so like people like their fans who come to watch our show, like they know more about the person and not the mod kind of thing. But I'm not doing very good
Person
at that.
behind the blog.
I'm pretty garbage with questions, but I'm working on it.
Well, let's expand on the personal sides of the artist, and I think a really good one that we can exploit and expand upon was that your profession and what you're studying. So you studying I'm saying
Pre-med.
medicine, but what exactly are you studying for?
Medical.
Pre-med?
I
Choco?
actually want to be a surgeon. That's what I'm studying for.
So
because-
what is
Like, I know I'm good with my hands because I am really skilled with drawing. I could, like, work with almost any material. So I realize I have incredibly steady hands, which would be good for surgery. So that's kind of the reason why I want to be a surgeon as well. And I think every generation of my family has been some type of doctor. So, except the last generation. My dad was a Marine, so that's totally not a doctor.
That's totally opposite.
That's kind of the reason why I want to be getting a medical degree, but it's been hard.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is. But it's actually pretty good that you're going to become a surgeon, and it's admirable, really, that you're like involved in this fandom, working on the Tumblr, and still studying, and managed to, stay.
If you look at the date when I joined, when I first saw My Little Pony, and if you look at my GPA is in constant decline ever since that time. So that's why I am trying to step away from the blog and stuff. And it's actually really bad. I'm still here after 2 years, almost 2 years.
Yeah, I'm actually
Year and a half
surprised.
so
Like,
far.
as I was reading your mod post, and it's like, what, you're studying medicine? So how do you find time to do this? It is
Bad
it's
because
human.
it's funny. When I was in military school, I used to be really good at organization because I had like almost 50 clubs I was involved in. I was the captain of cross country and track team and all these other teams. I was the battalion executive officer, and I did a lot of stuff. So I was always constantly busy in military school. So I'm really good at organizing and handling stuff. But when I came to college, I realized, well, I'm actually not as good as I thought I was, because in military school, even though it was mostly me, I did have like some type of structure or foundation. So people did kind of like tell me what to do and stuff. But now that I'm kind of free on my own in college, it's a bit harder because there's a lot of stuff I want to do. Like, I never really read comic books or watched TV in military school because I didn't have TV or access to internet. So now that I'm in college, I'm looking at everything, and there's so much good stuff. There's so many good movies and TV shows, and yeah, it is a big distraction.
Mhm.
But
It's kind of when you kept a dog on a leash for 10 years, and then you finally let it go.
And you just
yeah,
let it go.
it's kind of it's okay. I'm looking at the stream now. I'm just amazed because like because you have Firefly's head in the corner. It looks like her head is on all the pictures that have been previously. Like they had Derpy and Fluttershy and Celestia. It looks like Firefly's head is on there. Body. Sorry for going off topic, but this stuff
No,
was
no.
hilarious.
But yeah, like
They will never stop.
but yeah, like with that kind of stuff, when it comes, like, I am really bad at wasting my time, because like I've been wanting to do so much stuff since I finished school, because like I had much more time. But like I'm thinking, it's like I don't want to get out of that working habit, because I really invested my time into my work when it got into like crunch time and stuff. So like I was focusing a lot of my time on that, and I was like getting no sleep over the year. Ever since I got home, I've been sleeping for about 10 to 12 hours, and I hate that so much. I pretty much moved
here.
yeah, like I pretty much moved on an annual like 5 to 6 hour sleeping schedule to a 10 to 12. But yeah,
It's funny. I was used to waking up to Reveille at like 6 in the morning. Now I'm waking up at noon.
Yeah, I know,
6
right?
in the morning. That's
Well, because especially senior year, since I was the top senior leader, I had to go and wake up 360 cadets every morning.
Oh, really?
I remember having to wake up people. It
Like
sucked.
we had Reveille going, but because we wanted to impress like the adults running the school as well, we tried to get everyone up before Reveille actually sounded. So that was crazy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We got
Heavily.
we got our school 99.4 rating from the cadet command in Washington D.C. So that's pretty
Nice.
high rating for AFI. That's our mark that we left on the school. One of the highest ratings any military school got. So we're kind of happy.
Yeah, before we're going having to go on a convoy and stuff, I'd wake up at like freaking 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd get all suited up and everything, and then I'd run into everybody else's tents, telling them, "Come on, we gotta get up, we gotta go." And that'd be like an hour before we had to really get up, because we'd leave around 7:30 after eating chow and everything. But I'd be in full, pretty much battle rattle, and just ready to go.
Yeah. Like
And
I would probably yell commands right now, though. It would probably sound very bad over Skype, but we would basically yell like, "Get out of your brat, cadet!" Like, "Get out!" And then we just turn the lights up and down and just wake them up with pulling sheets over them. It's actually
I was a
funny
little
because-
nicer than that. I would go into everybody's tent and just be like, "Get up, get up, get up! We gotta go! Come on, get going, let's go!" And a little bit more enthusiastic and 4:30 a.m. ready to like kill somebody because I'm tired as all hell.
They took away our senior privilege. We had to do that. Like seniors used to have could tell you lower classmen to do push-ups and stuff. They took that away our year because apparently it was not good. We had the senior. We were the last people to do the senior wet downs too. Like we had a place called the senior lawn, and anyone who was not a senior or an officer, if they stepped on it, we would drag them to the middle of the lawn and like use a hose and just spray them down. And
See, that'd be a blessing over. Well, I don't know. Depending on how hot it was going to be that day.
we were in Southern California, so it was pretty hot.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Like San Diego
I'd
area.
screw up on purpose.
Oh, you know what's worse? The worst thing was doing the dress parades. Like almost
Oh,
every
those-
other weekend, we would have to do a dress parade in the hot San Diego sun, and we didn't wear like the new uniforms you guys have that are all nice and fancy. We basically wore uniforms that were worn 200 years ago.
Oh,
Like thick wool uniforms with an ugly big hat so make it look like a toy soldier.
I mean, I was in ROTC in high school, and that was okay. I mean, that pretty much got me ready for basic and everything. You know, I went in as an E3, and I was happy with that, and I got out as an E5, so I was happy.
Yeah, but you know, our school was actually considered ROTC, but we did it 24/7, and we did it at West Point level crazy.
I don't know if I could handle that, but I think I'd be pretty okay if it was.
I think the
not
best
20.
thing I got from it was I built a really strong relationship with all my classmates. Like I have, I think 60 people who graduate with me, and they're basically they're closer to me than my biological brothers, I think. Like that's how close we are.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I know
bonded.
that I've gone through with battle buddies, whatever. They like to call it battle buddies, but I just,
I think
having.
the Bronies do the same thing too, because a lot of people are telling me that the Brony community, being involved with the Brony fandom, has gotten them really close to a lot of people they will never be close with. And I think, well, it's kind of like how I was at military school, you know?
Yeah, and, I mean, it's good that you're not going to go into the military, in my perspective, because right now it's kind of gone to shit. It really has. They're cutting back so much, and they're kicking
I
people
am
out for no
questioning
reason.
whether I should go or not, because I got accepted to West Point, Annapolis, in the Air Force Academy, but because I wanted to be a doctor, I decided to turn down those offers and go to a pre-med college instead.
You're going to earn a lot more money that way
I know,
and
but
not get shot at.
Looking back, like I'm looking at West Point, I'm thinking, well, Edgar Allan Poe and Patton and Robert E. Lee, all these great people graduated from West Point. Maybe I should have gone there. So I don't know. It's just nagging in the back of my head that I should have probably done something different.
I went, oh man, basic was so much fun for me. I was pretty much like a summer camp, really. It was that fun. Getting yelled at once in a while was.
I think you guys have fun. It seems like you guys had a lot of fun because ours was strict, but we had fun on our free, like behind, like when we were supposed to be in the behind the scenes at night. We would basically go out and like take midnight runs to Chipotle. We're not supposed to have cars, but we would just take cars to Chipotle. We were right by Tijuana. time.
Going to basic, I remember after Red Phase, all the drill sergeants just were like, fuck it, I don't give a shit anymore. They started, we were like, we don't care anymore. They had to be mean. Then the captain,
Really?
then our captain tried to, like, he went away on vacation for the rest of basic, so they were like, so we're playing football in the main bay.
Oh shoot! I think the Skype call just crashed.
Right,
again.
it was
Nope.
hectic. We couldn't drink we could only drink water. We had to sit quiet in quiet mess. We were constantly being yelled at and stuff. And it was the seniors doing it freshman year when we entered. And basically when we became senior, we kind of did the same thing, but we were much nicer to them.
Yeah, they were pretty much letting us do almost anything, really. I mean, because the main CO left, so they're like, fuck it, I don't give a shit anymore. They pretty much were like, a lot of the drill sergeants, that was like their last, real, that was their last time they're going to be a drill sergeant, so they were like, we don't give a fuck anymore. That was pretty much exactly how they dealt with it. They're like, we don't care. Wake up at, well, instead of 4:30, we'll wake up at 5. Every day instead of Sunday, because Sunday you're supposed to wake up at like 5:30. PT was like once a week.
We had chapel on Sundays.
Yeah, we had chapel too, but a lot of the
Actually,
time
I think Sundays was our sleep-in day. Like, if you didn't have a church to go to, you got to sleep in. So I think a lot of people became atheists that time.
Yeah, right. Or people would just lounge around. You either had to clean up the bays on Sundays and just relax and do nothing, because most of the time we would just sleep right next to our beds. We didn't have bunks. We just had single beds.
Speaking of transitions, I think we're gonna I
What?
think we're gonna go for one last question, then move on to viewer Q&A.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
I
So,
got
like,
distracted.
Choco, do you have any like people that you really look up to in kind of like anywhere?
Well, I guess within the Brony fandom or outside?
Both actually. Let's go for both.
Well, I guess it's kind of weird within the Brony fandom, because most of the people I look up to, I'm now really close friends with them. So it would be weird to say that I kind of look up to someone who I consider like a everyday friend. Like Will Draw for Food, Zach Morris. His blog was one of the first blogs I ever saw and really inspired me to start my blog. And now we were basically just buddies. Like, we don't even talk about ponies, we just talk about South. Like, we're both very big South Park fans, and that's something we talk about. We talk about the 90s animation renaissance. So it's like,
Okay.
we're at that level now where even though he's a good friend, I feel really, and he's still an inspiration. So it's kind of weird to think of him as a inspiration, even though he is. Aphex would be another one. Like, I guess Aphex, you guys know, the Stalker Loop.
Yeah,
He's a good friend as well. And like, he's impressive because, like, I don't know if you guys, most of you guys know he's colorblind, yet he has the most, like, if you look at his images, they're the most beautiful digitally painted images I've ever seen. Like, the
It's
color
like-
palettes are so beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed him, I don't know, that was like our 3rd or 4th episode, and we found out that he's colorblind, and it was like orange or something. I'm not sure exactly what color, I can't remember, but we were surprised by it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other people like Ahmed's. I really like his raindrops. Like, the way he draws the ponies are really cute with their big muzzles and stuff. I like Dash. He does Kogate. Dream does Philly Twilight. So there's a lot of people I like within the Brony fandom. Most of them are Tumblr people. And I guess outside the fandom, like, artist-wise, I guess I'll talk about just visual arts first and then the writing. But visual arts, I think my biggest inspiration was Norman Rockwell. Like, I like his Saturday Evening Post drawings. He did a lot of images for the Boy Scouts. He did the paintings of the Four Freedoms. I think they're really popular. So, Norman Rockwell, and then Dore, who he does the engravings back during the Victorian era.
Oh, right, yeah.
He's a really big inspiration, because if you guys notice now, my artwork is becoming more like etchy engraving style artwork, like contrast with black lines. So he's a big inspiration because I'm looking at how he does the engravings. And then Salvador Dali is interesting because we have the exact same birthdays.
Really?
So we both celebrate birthdays. Yeah. When I first saw his artwork, I despised them. They were ugly, grotesque drawings. They made me sick. I hated them. Yet I could not stop looking at his drawings because they were so interesting and surreal. And it was actually Dali who made me realize that art could be a transformative thing, because if his paintings had such an effect on me that it made me really disgusted, then he did his job, because his painting had a transformative reaction on me. And I'm actually a big fan of his art now, even though I was not initially. So I guess for the visual art sides, those are my inspirations. And then for writing, it would basically be Alan Moore.
But like, besides like not dealing with skills or anything like that, but like as kind of like a person, interacting with people, kind of like dealing with problems, stuff like that, but not like any skill set, like not thinking of any skills, like who do you look up to for that kind of stuff?
Oh, I could say the easy thing, my parents, but my dad specifically. He's done a lot of crazy stuff. I actually probably should not be. I can't talk about a lot of the stuff he's done because he's worked for government. Yeah. So I can't talk about the stuff he does, and I actually do try to keep my identity a little bit secret online. But I guess outside of those, outside of my family, my big inspiration would basically be Booker T. Washington. Like, you guys, I guess he was one of the old civil rights activists back after the Civil War, the Reconstruction era. Booker T. Washington, he had a motto that you should never you should always work hard. You should never blame anyone, and even if someone else is at fault, you should never blame anyone for any of your own problems. You should just suck it up and work hard. And that's kind of the model how I live life. Like, yes, there's going to be obviously a lot of problems in the world. There's going to be a lot of people trying to be against me and stuff. Yet, as long as I suck it up and work my hardest, I will be able to achieve. So, Booker T. Washington is my big inspiration. And then
Booker T. Washington, that sounds like a nice thing.
That sounds like a nice man.
It sounds like Booker T. Washington. It sounds more like a manner that I want to live in.
It's interesting because he was a contemporary of William D. Du Bois or something like that. Just like Martin Luther King was a contemporary of Malcolm X. Yet they're both Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were kind of complete opposites. Same as Booker T. Washington and Du Bois, they were kind of on the opposite side of the spectrum. And while I actually do admire all of them, Booker T. Washington, just for me, I think his philosophy of working hard and never blaming anyone for your problems is really my big inspiration. Okay. I guess coming from a Marine family, Chesty Fuller is also the Marine Corps general is also another big inspiration for me too.
Okay.
I would basically say Booker T. Washington as my big first inspiration.
Wow. So I think like this is about the time we actually go to viewer questions.
Yep.
So,
Question Q and nay. I like that. I've always liked that little nay.
I don't. Anyway.
Like you.
I'll just set up the rules on the chat. Remember, everyone bold
And underline.
So
and make sure there are no dumb
underline.
questions.
Wow, that's kind of rude, Ragin. There's
Hey.
no dumb question.
No,
That's
there's no.
only
We
you.
get the dumb questions. Now shut your face, Nick.
I'll feel bad if no one asked me any questions.
It's like, okay, let's set up a new rule. It
We've
can
had
be,
that happen
It can.
sometimes.
It not only can be to. Let's have like a new rule. Not only can it be directed to the guests, it can also be directed to any of us if you guys want to.
I guess, yeah.
To the show and to the fan.
But nothing
Fan,
offensive. by the
show,
way.
whatever.
Oh, Nick, you have one.
I see one.
Sorry,
when
11.
become a brony.
But yeah,
Can I
I'll
join?
just quickly answer 11's first. No, sorry, 11. But anyway,
Yes,
Hedorian,
maybe later.
Hedorian asks, when did you become a brony? I'm guessing that's towards chocolate.
Okay, well, I guess this is the first time I told anyone on the podcast, so let me think about it. Let me think about how I became a brony, because I kind of forgot. Okay, when I first came to college, it was the first time I really got to see all these different, art forms. Like military school, I wasn't able to see all this stuff, and I actually thought, oh wow, because in military school I had very few comics or TV shows or movies to look at. So I was thinking, now that I'm able to look at everything, there will be so much good quality stuff everywhere, and that was just the exact opposite. I thought culture in general and entertainment was really in decline. So I was really disappointed with all the stuff I've seen, and I think I remember going back and watching Powerpuff Girls 2 summers ago and thinking that Powerpuff Girls was the most amazing show ever, and I just watched every single episode. And afterwards, I was like, well, what else? What are they doing now? So I looked up the animators of Powerpuff Girls and saw that they were working on the show called My Little Pony. I was like, that's fucking gay, man. Stupid. Why would they work like
stupid.
Yeah, so I had no idea why.
That show.
It's funny, I didn't know anything about the Brony fandom because I know that the fandom was very big around that time, yet I was really oblivious because I never seen a piece of pony fan art, I never seen any pony music videos. I went to 2 anime conventions that year, I didn't see a single cosplayer dressing up as ponies. So it's funny because I did not see a single pony anywhere, even though I knew that they must have been very popular around that time. So I guess it just kind of like slipped out of my mind. Every time I saw a pony, I just kind of ignored it. But I'm under the reaction where I can't criticize a piece of art unless I've seen it. Because I used to really not like anime. And one of my brothers showed me the best work I've ever seen was Clannad. And I would have never watched that anime if I never, I just took a chance. So I was saying, well, before I could criticize all these crazy people who like ponies, I might as well watch the show and understand it. So ironically, I actually watched all these video reviews of people criticizing the Brony fandom. I read all the articles about the Brony fandom. I was like, wow, these people are crazy. Why would they like this? I was like, okay, well, now let me watch the show itself. And I actually watched the first episode, and I was like, well, this is really stupid. It's horrible. It's like, oh, whoa, this is actually pretty good. Wow. Oh my god, the blue pony, and she has rainbow. Is that a guy? No, it's a girl. Wow, these ponies are really amazing. Oh, whoa, the character interact. Oh, I've never seen characters like this. Such depth and development. And I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was amazed. I kept on watching. And I got the winter wrap up and orange dress, and I was so amazed. And right afterwards, after I was done watching, I took the first bus to Target and Toys R Us and bought all the pony toys I could. So I was instantly a fan within the first 2 episodes, and I went out right away just to buy pony toys, and that's how it happened.
It's really funny how like the same thing you liked about the show was the same thing I first liked about the show. It's the characters. They're just so well designed and engaging.
And it's funny because I purposely was hoping to hate it because I wanted to make fun of it. I like people who like making fun of Twilight or Justin Bieber and all that stuff. I wanted to be a person who hated ponies purposely. And I actually watched every video of people criticizing ponies, all these articles bashing bronies and stuff. And I thought that those articles would kind of change my opinions of how I watched the show. But no, the show proved itself that it was really good. So that was why I actually started. That's why I'm saying you can never judge a book by its cover, because something I was purposely hoping would be bad, it was amazing. So I can't say it, but that's how I became a brony.
Yeah, like most of us here, we intentionally watched the show just to make fun of it. But at the end,
Actually, I was bored and had nothing to do.
Yeah, I was curious about it. I saw it all over YouTube, and I'm like, in the internet, I was like, what the hell? I'll give it a shot. Even though I know that all the other ones were terrible.
But
and
I was forced to watch it, so.
Oh.
And then I loved it and watched every episode that was available.
The thing is, I don't think I am a brony because I'm not really a fan. Like, I guess the brony fandom would be the first fandom I joined. Yeah, I'm not really in it for the fans. Like, I don't care about shipping or, this is a good show, there's a good character. And, I really don't care about all that stuff. Like, the reason I liked it, the reason why I like it, most other bronies actually question me. Like, they would probably have an opposite reaction. The reason I like it is because, for me, I think it was supposed to be a sign that culture and art in general was not in decline. Like, a lot of people think it's kind of, a slippery slope when I call My Little Pony art. But considering how I was stuck in military school with very few forms of entertainment, and then afterwards I got to watch everything. I got to watch every single movie, TV show, comic book, novel, and
ever made.
Seeing how bad they were written, like how badly they were written, how far they were, how much of a product they were, and then seeing a show that was purposely made to be a product, My Little Pony, excelling them, like being better than 99% of what's out there right now. That's the reason I like the show, because it's a sign. I think it's like a sign of hope. Like, even if you think all hope is lost and things are in the crapper, there is proof that if you work hard on something, it could be good. That is why I like the show.
Like, it's definitely not the thing that really prompted me to become a brony, but I definitely agree with you on that. 'Cause because like lately it feels like good shows, like good children's cartoons, are pretty much. I keep thinking I use this saying wrong, but a dime out of a dozen. I think,
See,
or maybe a diamond out of a
maybe.
dozen.
No. When you're saying a dime a dozen,
Dime a
is
dozen.
they're common. They're like, eh.
Nah, yeah. So I was using that one. So it's pretty much the needle in the haystack. So
Yeah, see, the thing for me, I try to be fair because, like, I look at most reviewers. Like, if a person reviews novels, they're going to be snobby against, like, comic books or film. If someone reviews film, they're going to be snobby against comic books or animation. So when I review a work, it doesn't matter if it's an Alan Moore work or James Joyce's work or My Little Pony. I want to keep them all at the same level. So it doesn't matter if it's a kid show or not. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. It doesn't matter if it was written as a kid show or not.
all right. So anyway, like back to the viewer questions.
I see some
Hedorian-
interesting questions here.
Yeah. Hedorian asks, what did you think of Clanid? I'm just gonna say it really fast. Did you cry? And don't worry, me and all my friends did.
Yes, I did cry.
I've never
Planet,
watched it.
What is it?
Even all my military school friends cried. Okay, it's if I will be very I'm going to be very sacrilegious right now, and everyone will probably hate me. But I think Clanid is mankind's pinnacle. I think it's the greatest work of art mankind has ever created. I don't think man could ever tell a better story. Even Shakespeare and all the Renaissance artwork and all the great novels of the Victorian era are not at the same level of how Clanid was made. Clanid started as a Japanese visual novel. It was actually ironically the author of Clanid. He was a psychology major, and he was also a musician. So when he actually visual novels are a really new untapped medium. They make use of a balance of visuals, sound effects, and character development. And what he did was he realized around this time visual novels were used as basically dating sims. That's the only reason, and mostly adult games and a lot of stuff that little kids should not be seeing, and a lot of stuff I do not like. But he realized the medium itself had an emotional impact on people because like a film, you had connection through visuals and you had the effect of sound effects. Like a comic, it made use of balance of text and images, and like a television show, it allowed you to grow over time with the characters. And like a novel, it made use of great writing and strong prose. So he took all these things together and made use of the visual novel. Using his knowledge in psychology, he crafted a story that would purposely have calculated emotional impact to the reader. And the fact that he also composed the music so that the music was timed with each part of the story perfectly. The way he crafted the story was just so beautiful because it's really making use of how humans think, knowledge of human psychology to like make a perfect story. And the anime adaptation was probably the first time I ever seen an adaptation from an original form to a new form that actually succeeded from the original form. Because sorry if I'm talking too much, but
No, it's fine.
No, go.
the Clanid
You're
visual
supposed to do
novel.
that.
Yeah, the Clanid visual novel is basically Clanid to visual novels is basically their Citizen King, their Watchmen. Clanid is considered the pinnacle of visual novels. Yet they took it and they made it into like an animated TV show that's the pinnacle of animated television. I've never seen storytelling or art used in that method. Like the first time I saw it, I was really hating it because I hate romance stories. I hate school stories. I hate slice of life stories. I hate anime. I hate having to read subtitles. Everything about Clanid was something that I should hate. Yet the first few minutes, it slowly moved me in. It brought me, first of all, introduced a realm of mystery. Like it was a weird, mysterious world. It had a quiet hum going in the background. Then it had a monologue. And then it had to introduce the character, and the character was timed beautifully with the music. And then during the whole show, you could see that it was timed, the visuals were timed with the music, with the characters talking. And I'd never seen any movie or TV show or comic use the medium in such a beautiful way. So that is the reason why I like Clanid, because it's
When it comes to like music and visuals combined in a beautiful way, I would definitely recommend you to go watch Macross Plus. If you're not familiar with the Macross series, but just watch Macross Plus, and my God, the music and the visuals, they just combine in a way that it's its own art. So if you can appreciate that, you'll love Macross
I
Plus.
think I would consider it, but I think a lot of people right now might think I'm crazy. If they listen to my whole entire rant about Clan, they might think I'm crazy, and I keep on thinking that myself because maybe I overhyped this show but every time I go back and rewatch it, it's like, no, I think it deserves the hype that I gave it. Like, but that's also the problem because I think now a lot of people will try to watch it with the same after hearing what I said about it, and they won't live up to their expectations. For me personally, I think it's a great show. But I guess for other people, it might not be as good. So just throwing it out there.
We're actually running out a bit of time, so I think I'm gonna move on a couple of more questions. I think you've already answered this, but Scratch asks, did you take lessons to get as good as you are in drawing?
I actually did not any art class until I came to college.
Really?
Everything I learned was drawn on my own. I actually never had any art books. I never had any art lessons. Everything was just me experimenting. I like tinkering with stuff, so I would just play around with pencils on paper until it made something that I liked. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Hooray!
Did you have before when you were looking through shows and stuff like that? Zelios asks, did you have a favorite show before you started watching My Little Pony?
South Park.
All right.
And South Park
It
is
was
very.
the first show that was basically I would consider art. Like, it was the first time I looked at show and like, wow, this is a show that's not just a product placement show. This is kind of its own unique art form. And it's also because when I was in military school, if you live in a boarding school for 24/7 with nothing to do, you kind of get down. And I think because if ponies were around, I'll probably feel more happy watching ponies. But because the only thing I had was a few episodes of South Park that people had circulated on DVD, every time when I felt bad or down, I would watch an episode of South Park and that would perk me up. So that was my first show and kind of my first fandom as well.
Nice.
Wow. So, 2 more questions before you have to go to your other show. Rosie is Best Pony asks, what do you feel about the game Minecraft? I'm actually interested in this question, but not only just Minecraft, but kind of comparing to the industry. Like, you kind of went into it.
Never played Minecraft.
Oh, really?
And truthfully, the last video game I really played was Pokemon Blue version.
Yes.
It's kind of sad because I'm kind of ignorant with video games. Like, I know that there's a whole entire argument of whether video games could be art or not, and video games have made an impact in pop culture. And my expertise is knowledge in pop culture and entertainment. Yet video games are the one thing that I know nothing about. However, I think if there's anything that I really like about video games is Ego Raptor. He made a review for, I think, a Mega Man game.
Oh, Sequelist. Yes.
Yeah, and the way he explained it, like how video games could be utilized as an art form that's independent of other forms, even visual novels, because a lot of video games and visual novels overlap. How he was explaining how Mega Man, the story is only unique to video games, I realized that video games could be a really strong art form and medium on its own.
Yeah, I mean, over time they've proven time and time again that you can take an interactive video game and turn it into art.
I think he brought up a good point, because when I was playing Blue version, I had to use a little manual to make me understand how to play. And he was saying, if you need a manual to play, if you need cutscenes, then that's not really part of a video game. He was saying that you look at how the characters move, like you're only able to move in one direction. So you move in one direction and you test something out, and that's how you play a game. And I was thinking that's a really good point.
It's all trial and error.
Last night, me and my friend were talking about the game River City Ransom, a really old game for the NES, and we were talking it has that it was like a beat 'em up game, but also had from looking at it straight on, it looks like a beat 'em up game, but if you play it more and more, it gets more deeper into RPG aspects, like powering up certain stats and stuff like that. But it's not so you don't have to get so invested into it, like say a game like Skyrim where you have to, okay, this stat does this, I need to get this level up. It's simple, and even with the story as well, it's simple enough to know, because when you start the game, it gives you a letter. It's like, hey, Alex, I kidnapped your girlfriend. What of it? So
what of it?
And that's pretty much it. And then you're just at the base of the high school, and you're going out to go rescue your girlfriend. And just like moving through like different, like he says like my gangs and stuff will stop you, and like every time you go into each new area, it's like the generic dude's turf, the frat boy's turf, stuff like that. And you like going through and you're going like through bosses and stuff like that who also have dialogue that kind of flesh out the story more. And it's a really fun game, and I recently cleaned out my NES and started playing it again. Oh, I love it so much.
It's so good.
Actually, you guys don't have to worry about rushing me as well. I told my podcast will be doing it at 10:30. So
All right.
we could also push it back later because it's the first time I have the spotlight to myself. So. Come on.
It's all about me.
It's all about chocolate, so you have an excuse to talk forever.
Yeah.
I think there's some good questions. I think someone asked me, "Do you actually like chocolate?"
Yeah, that was the next question. The 11th Doctor asks, "Do you actually like chocolate?"
No. I'm actually not a fan about chocolate, and I actually will feel bad because I know people are going to give me a ton of chocolate when I be at BronyCon.
You're gonna be like, thanks, I'm gonna throw this away now.
It's like that little joke where Derpy actually does not like muffins, but she tells Pinkie Pie she does, just be nice, and she's just has all these muffins all around her house. Actually, I do like chocolate. I do like milk chocolate and white chocolate. Yet white chocolate is not even real chocolate.
I prefer vanilla.
Yeah, I'm a vanilla person. Like, I don't like chocolate ice cream. I like vanilla.
Chocolate pony, I think, Choco, I think the stars are aligned. We should totally date.
No.
Sorry, I don't swing like that. Sorry.
My dreams are forever ruined.
My pride.
Because even I think if I actually did like chocolate, that would be kind of bad because my blonde pony is chocolate pony. So if I did like chocolate, wouldn't it be like cannibalism if I had his? I don't know. It will be weird if we look it out.
You've seen some things and some stuff, but don't worry.
I've seen some things in my time, man.
Yeah, I much
Actually-
prefer, if this is, I'm just gonna start talking without you knowing. But like I think I like milk chocolate, and there's really good chocolate that I don't usually buy because it's expensive, but it's like Belgium chocolates. At least I'm pretty sure that's how the box is labeled.
Ooh,
And it's like
fancy.
kind of like shell chocolates, and it's so good. It's like a mix between white milk and dark chocolate, and it has like kind of a soft filling in the middle. It's like,
That is like the chocolate of the gods.
yeah. I hate
You know,
Ferrero
actually,
Rocher.
what I'm hoping is I want to make a mold of chocolate pony, so I have like little chocolate ponies I could give out to people.
That would actually
Shoot
be
their-
really cool. That would be
That would
really
cut
yeah.
Their
That,
heads off.
that'd be a really good thing to give away for free, but that would be expensive as heck.
Yeah. But since I just want to like take a moment here and just talk about something random for a bit.
Not about me.
No, you. I know that hurts you so much. I was actually today walking with my sister in the mall and went to our local Hot Topic, and I know that your podcast, or at least Flavin, talks religiously about the My Little Pony comics.
Yeah, he does.
And I actually went and bought the latest issue I can find, which was like issue 6. That's last month's issue. Here we get the issues a little bit late. Like right now.
I think
like,
you're also being overcharged too.
Yeah, because like you know how much we pay for one issue in Hot Topic?
How much?
$5.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that much.
That is expensive.
It's expensive, but honestly, there is no such thing as a dedicated comic book store here. There is no such thing. There was a Borders and it's gone, and there's nothing left.
There's a
There's
dedicated
nothing
comic
left.
book store here.
Aren't you
This is a
really
small.
special?
This is a small island. It's really does not apply from
Full
a
of
huge
ignorant
country.
people.
I hear people similar reaction. Like my friend, one of my friends from military school lived in Hawaii his whole life, and he was basically saying the same thing. It's really nothing there. There's no Walmarts or Targets or anything. It's just a small
Yeah.
island, and it's boring after a while.
That's why you
Yeah.
go on the internet.
You buy it from eBay.
Okay.
But you know, I actually read them, and I'm surprised. They're pretty well done. The art isn't that whoa, but
From
for
the
what it's
clips
worth,
I've seen, I've actually really liked the art.
Yeah.
I haven't actually read a version myself. I really do want to though, but I just haven't.
do it.
If I
they
can
capture
find
the characters
it,
very
the thing
well.
is, like, I can't find it.
All right. At least in the comics, the interactions with the characters are pretty well done, pretty authentic. You know, they interact a lot more than they do now in the series because it's a little bit more over the top. You know, when it comes to it's much more cartoonish than in the show. Like Pinkie Pie would just spawn objects like out of the blue. In one panel, you'll see her like like playing the drums, and the other panel, you'll see her wearing 3D glasses. Like, where's she getting this stuff? But I guess that's how the artist visualizes the character and creates like if she wants like emphasizing on certain things. Like for example, if Luna's gonna do like something spectacular and like you see Pinkie Pie in the background, like, oh boy, it's like a 3D movie, and you'll see her eating popcorn with 3D glasses to to emphasize what she said. It makes it look funnier.
Okay.
It's a strategy. It's more like it doesn't feel as much her saying it. You have to put all the stuff to make it funnier.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll definitely take a look at that. But I know you kind of answered it a bit in the chat already, but like Adorian asks, why did you say you hated anime? I'm just curious about your reason.
It's actually because I was back in the day. I used to hate everything, like I was saying, I kind of did not like most entertainment because I kind of thought it was generic. Like I thought, because the military school stuck with so limited things, I thought those were just like the oddballs. When I had to see everything, that it would be so much diverse, comics, animes, and all this stuff. And I found that mostly everything were just generic, photocopies of the exact same thing over and over and over again. Like all anime to me, it's either the same battle in the original anime or the same magical girl anime thing. So that's the reason why I did not like anime. But some of my favorite works of all time are actually now animes. Like the first anime I really liked was Paranoia Agent, and I wouldn't even consider it like an anime. I would consider it like a TV. Like that's one of my favorite TV shows because that was a really good work. What else? I like Death Note as well. I like most of the Paprika, that movie that was good. I like the Haruhi Suzumiya series. I also like Lucky Star. So I do like some of the mainstream animes as well. But
It's really hard for like a mainstream anime to give me the feels that old animes given me. For example, it's gonna take decades for someone to do another Cowboy Bebop, another like
Cowboy Bebop is another one.
The new this is like top for sci-fi anime, which in my view it's kind of like the ones that's been neglected over the years. There's not a lot of good sci-fi anime anymore.
And I guess to be fair, instead of saying things I don't like about anime, I should say there are things I do like about anime. Like one of the things I noticed are that they have the characters in animated TV shows are usually stronger than American shows. Like, they're more well-rounded, you can identify with them more. They have more character behind them. And I also think that anime experiments with a lot of different stories. Like, with American TV, you basically have the high school animated show, or you have the superhero comic book, or the action movie, or thriller novel. Anime experiments with a bunch of different stories and styles that you would probably never see anywhere else. So that's kind of the reasons why I like it, because it's more diverse.
Legendary Core is also pretty interesting when it comes to cartoons. I think Avatar, just in general, the Avatar series, is for me it's a pretty good take on it because it mixes a lot of cultures when it comes to like it mixes Japanese from Chinese.
Truth be told, I never really watched Avatar. Like I know I have seen it because I know when I'm browsing and there's nothing on TV, I do go to it, and I know my brother is home who watches it, so I do know it exists. Yet it's not been something I've gotten into. It does look interesting though, but again, because I come from an Asian background, seeing white people try to attempt Asian stuff is kind of weird. But it's really, I think,
Silly white people.
I feel like
white people.
I feel like they did it pretty well. Like, I still haven't actually finished the original series yet, and I haven't even
Sad,
looked at
sad
Korra
dog.
yet. Mainly because like I was like watching it like crazy, but then school got in the way, and I just never really picked it back up, which sucks. Oh well though.
Another good one, I would have to say, a good anime that's come out, which is they've also made like 2 versions of it. You have Full Metal Alchemist,
Oh.
Yeah.
and Brotherhood has to be
Mm.
my favorite. And I don't want to say it's got a cult following, but it's so well written, especially the Brotherhood version of it. It's just so well written, not witten.
You know, it's interesting because right now I'm actually trying to avoid pop culture right now. Like I'm avoiding anime because I know there'll be a lot of animes I like. Yeah, I know I have no time to watch them anymore. Like, it actually took me a long time to get out of the South Park craze. You know, I used to be involved in South Park fandom. I used to love South Park religiously. I watched it all the time. It took me such a long time to get out of South Park. And once I left South Park, boom, Planet hit me. And after I was trying to wean off clans for a while, then I found My Little Pony. Now I'm trying to wean off My Little Pony, and I can't be distracted by anything else anymore.
It's yeah, like once you're hooked, it's tough to get out. Like any addiction.
Yeah, and I had to bring this up. Cowboy Bebop, it's good, and that's probably why I like Firefly.
Oh, I love Firefly,
And
but I've never watched
Firefly and Cowboy Bebop are pretty much somewhat almost set in the same universe.
Yeah, my dad's a big fan of Cowboy Bebop, and I do know Firefly is like one of the best television shows made as well.
It's one season and only.
I hate
Oh, yeah.
that so much. That is only one season.
Especially for me, my favorite television show of all time, like anime or not, would be actually more Orwell on Adult Swim.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's the only television show I ever watched that said, wow, this is actually experimenting and showing what the television medium could actually do. That Paranoia Agent and probably Haruhi Suzumiya were my best favorite TV shows of all time.
okay.
I miss the old days of Toonami when they had
Oh, yeah.
good.
Oh my god.
But
good
most
TV.
of them were just Goku going, ah. 7 episodes
No, but
later,
they had, surprisingly, they had a lot of mecha, and they have like really awesome shows. Like for example, like one of my favorite shows from Toonami was Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yes.
Because watching as a kid back then, like Dragon Ball Z was tops, and I loved Dragon Ball Z. I loved like the comic and I loved like fighting and huge energy blast things and all the screaming, all that stuff was
Well,
it was awesome.
Massive lasers.
Well,
When
Yu Yu
Hakusho came, when Yu Yu Hakusho showed
came
up
before
to me,
Dragon Ball.
yeah, but when it aired on Toonami, didn't really matter because when I first saw Dragon Ball Z, then I watched Yu Yu Hakusho. It was kind of like, whoa, it's kind of like Dragon Ball Z when it comes to the fighting, but it's
Inuyasha.
so different.
But without the annoying 2 people.
I wasn't a fan of Inuyasha. I know of his existence,
Yeah.
but I always felt that it was more of a girls' anime because my sister and my cousin watched it more.
Yeah, my brother
Watched it.
Yeah, I remember in middle school when that was out, and you would see is girls reading
Yes.
the Inuyasha mangas, and you're like, are you serious? Fuck off.
Fruit Basket was popular back then too. Like I know a lot of girls.
And the guys had the Dragon Ball Z, and the girls had Inuyasha.
Yeah.
Or
But
Naruto.
now we have ponies, so that's
Yeah, fuck 'em.
that's something,
We'll take it for that.
Now the guys have ponies.
The girls are like, oh my god.
Let's get
Guys
Batman.
have ponies and girls have robots.
Yeah.
I still miss one of my favorite shows that was on Toonami was Megas XLR.
Oh, God.
That was the
That
shit.
show was on
That was
television?
like the gun. That was like the cool, like outrageous Gundam show.
That was the American version.
That
of
was the
Gundam.
American version of Gundam.
I mean, you see Gundam that's like very sophisticated and has like a really deep, interesting story.
This one just has a car on top of a giant robot
Yeah, this was
with
just kind of like,
buttons.
yeah, F you. I
Amazing.
think it was kind of like it's kind of like a throwback to all the mecha genre in general.
And there's a lot of references too. They throw in a lot of references. Like there's I remember I think one of the biggest ones has to be There's a Powerpuff Girls one. But instead of girls, it's bears. But it's still got the music. But then they made one of my favorite episodes has to be when Cooper has to go to the freaking DMV, and it's the best described episode because it describes exactly what the DMV is like. Nothing but pure hell. And he has a flashback to destroying it. It's everybody's thoughts about what they want to do to the DMV. It's such a good show, and they talked about bringing it back. There's still talk about bringing it back, and I mean, it was it didn't really have much of a point. It just had a point of trying to be funny and just destroying stuff.
Yeah.
With the robot.
Mm.
And that was
I know
It was a
UC-77.
good show.
He's a big fan. Yeah. But what?
Of
Oh,
Mecha.
so
Yeah, I know. He loves Mecha. You are the bane of my existence.
Bane.
Nick,
What?
you're the bane of my existence.
I'm the bane of.
We really run out of
life.
things to talk about.
No,
Yeah,
I can
yes.
keep talking about one thing.
Well, I can bring up
Dark
an
Knight
old-
Rises. I love Dark Knight Rises. Like one of my
Batman.
that's the only movie where I watched 12 times in theaters.
Was it? Wait, was that the one? Wait, was Dark
And I went
Knight
to
Rising
12
was
theaters.
the last one, or was that the?
Bane. The one with Bane.
It was the last
Oh,
one.
I didn't like that one.
Go away, Shu.
I'm disappointed with how they made Batman like just nothing, and they just made Bane some giant wrestler dude with a mask. Yeah, it kind of makes sense that they tied the whole story full circle, but they kind of went overboard with that.
I don't know. I watched it 12 times in theaters, and I've been watching it almost every week since it's been released on DVD, and I have not gotten bored of it once.
I still love
This is-
Dark Knight. That's
the thing
absolutely my favorite.
The thing I kind of don't like about this particular Batman, seeing that I in terms of movie wise, my personal favorite reincarnation of Batman is the Michael Keaton Batman.
I think the animated Batman is still my favorite Batman.
Yeah, that's what was oh man, I forgot his name. That one is like the best overall. But in movie adaptation, Michael Keaton was the best Batman because I don't like.
I never saw it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like. Man, what's his face? I forgot his name again.
I'm gonna be straight with all of you.
What?
Adam West will never be topped in the realm of
Yes. Adam West was
Batman.
ridiculous.
Oh my
but that's
god, you
Batman.
nerds! Stop talking about different stuff.
God, but I just don't like this Batman. I mean, I can't freaking remember the actor's name. I'm keep saying Daniel Craig, but it's not freaking Daniel Craig.
Yeah, and he always like had like I don't know. His voice was just like.
Batman never talks like that, and he doesn't have this constant dumb expression in his face. Because when he got duped by Catwoman, he just stares at her. Like, you just do? I was like, what?
Why are you a cat?
Batman, the comic Batman doesn't do that. He would expect everything, and he's prepared for just about everything. At least if you watch the animated series, you would just he has this attitude that there's nothing that could surprise him, or if there's something that does happen, he already has a plan.
Yeah,
Made
Batman is basically the world's greatest detective. That's his thing. He's like Sherlock Holmes on steroids with a bunch of crazy gadgets.
Yeah, and DC likes to make him OP.
He carefully calculates and inspects everything. DC is named after Detective Comics, which was the comic that Batman was published in.
Really?
And Batman is just I don't know. They kind of
Batman
They made him
DC
too
is not
realistic.
DC is not called AC. AC was Action Comics where Superman was published in. Batman is basically the flagship of DC Comics.
So that's
Like-
why he was the main character in the new Injustice game.
I
That's
just
everything.
personally, I don't like it when they're trying to make like Superman always the villain, because
They
I think for me, the most dangerous here, the dangerous one here is Batman. Because you don't know, Batman could snap, he could go crazy, he could start planning to kill off the entire Justice League because he feels that,
There's
And he's stealthy enough to do it.
There's one thing that I I haven't actually seen the movie. I really want to. I forget what it's called, but it's essentially like he ends up getting buried into his parents' grave by Bane. When he gets out, he finds out that Flash has a bracelet on his wrist that will explode if he stops running. Superman was shot by a kryptonite bullet.
Oh, I just saw this movie a few days ago.
That's Doom. That's the Doom.
Yes, Justice League.
That's the Doom.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I didn't get some of the things they did. Like how does Flash go through ice to get the bracelet off? And why was Green Lantern's weakness crying and taking off his ring?
No, Green Lanterns. Okay,
Like his
this
power
you
was the
have
only
to
one that
know
wasn't really
the
taken
Green-
away.
the
He
Green
could have just put his ring back
Lantern
on.
lore. No, Green Lantern's. Okay, Green Lantern's power is based on will. If he loses the will to continue, he loses the power to use the ring.
I just
It's
hear fanboy
complicated.
talk right now. Blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
it's-
Fanboy.
Connections are bad of it.
Damn
No,
it.
I understand because I do know his enemy is Fear, which is basically what Sinestro and the Yellow Lanterns represent.
Exactly. If you mess up his will to live to continue, then you just mess him up as a hero. He can't use the ring anymore.
Though truthfully, I still feel a bit weird talking, being involved with people who had to do like this stuff because even though I do like My Little Pony South Park, I still don't think I'm in the whole entire comic book pop culture thing.
I'm not
I
too
know
much
nothing
either.
about magic or I could talk about comic books, but I truthfully know nothing about comic book continuum. I know about the comic book art form, but I don't know anything about comics. I don't know anything about video games, so I almost feel out of the loop when people talk about stuff like Team Fortress and Homestruck and whatever.
Homestruck.
Homestruck.
Yes.
Struck.
If
I
it's,
absolutely hate Homestuck. It's just my opinion about it, and I just think it's everybody. I remember when they had the anniversary Homestuck, and I'm out in the freaking middle of the mall, and all I see is like 10 people dressed as Homestuck, and I have a friend ask what that is, and I'm like, just don't look at them. Just don't.
So, from what
just
people have
don't
been
stare.
telling me, I think what Homestruck is trying to do is very similar to what I want to see done. I want to see a new form of storytelling presented. I think because I'm a big fan of the Umineko visual novel series, because that kind of makes the storytelling into a game, yet at the same time really makes use of the detective genre and all this stuff. And a lot of people are telling me that Homestuck is kind of like Umineko, but I just don't want to spend time looking at it. Like,
Okay,
it's probably it's good, but I just don't.
Alright, okay,
really
Chocolate
long.
Pony. Let me be frank. Do you enjoy looking at Skype history chats of people you don't know?
Not really, no.
Well, then that's
That's
Homestuck.
just creepy.
That is 90% of Homestuck. You are literally reading Skype history chat.
Pretty much, yeah.
Literally.
With the picture up top.
And let me give you like a random panel from Homestuck, and you gonna sit down, read a huge
It sounds like stalking.
line of
it's-
conversation, a dialogue. It is
I
nothing
know that,
but dialogue.
what was it? Icy Sparks, the guy who does the Icy Sparks ass blog, he was actually telling me about Homestuck, and from what he was saying, it sounds actually pretty good if you're reading at the moment, because every time I look at a particular medium, you have to look at how it's presented. So television shows are not meant to be watched all in one time, they're supposed to be viewed weekly. And apparently Homestuck is supposed to be viewed every week when it updated, and it was apparently fan interaction was involved because the guy made use of fan comments on the forums or something like that. So all of this is kind of tied in. From what he's telling me, it sounds pretty cool, but I just don't have time to kind of read back all this stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
like it's
you-
way too much.
And the animation in
You
all
have a
stuff
life.
is amazing. That's the only thing I actually pay attention to. The rest of it, my brother reads.
The anime, like in terms of how the animations are done, it's very creative, and they just go like over the top of imagination. It's like it is the best part of Homestuck in general, and the music it's fantastic. I mean, it's so just it's good. But besides from enjoy reading Skype history chats, because that's what it is really with colors, and it gets horrendous when you like when this character Lord English, he only writes in white color text. My god, it doesn't help when the entire background is white, so you have to highlight it.
Yeah.
Damn it. There we go.
But
I think we need to start wrapping this up.
Yeah,
You
we
have
should
5 minutes
start
till your
wrapping
next show.
Oh yeah, we're actually looking to see if we can get someone live from EQLA to actually report live from there for us.
See if you can get Saber. I don't think he's on right
I
now.
don't know.
but he's right there.
Quizzo's there, Jay Holler, JJ's there. Looking at some
lot
of
of
the
people.
news people. TJ looks like he'll have something. Yes. Is it time? Can I do a shameless plug-in?
Oh, sure.
Yes, do a plug-in. We love plugins.
Yes.
It's the time.
When you guys are done, join our podcast. The Tumblr podcast should be streaming live on my Chocolate Pony blog.
Let me go find a link.
Yeah, let me find. I only have a link to my own blog.
I think I can get a link real quick.
But yeah, I think like instead of having an after show, or at least a long one like we usually do, I think we'll just like push everyone over there.
Oh, yeah, we'll probably
Thanks.
do that. We might have a.
You know, actually, I think this could kind of work out if you guys do a podcast around this time, and then we move next. It'll be kind of like one of the those radio shows where you have one show following another.
That'd be pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Yay!
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah.
I have to find a link.
Okay, let me. Yeah, it's my show. I'll link it myself.
You're responsible.
Yeah, I'm responsible.
I'm responsible for
Responsible adult.
this.
Oh, you can tell which one's mine because it has the Bane music playing background.
So I guess it kind of like if like for the really dedicated ones, if they want to stay for the after show,
Yeah.
whatever. And then we
but it's-
fight.
I guess let me announce what we're going to have on our show. We're going to be talking about, I guess, what we talked about here, the Equestria Girls. We're also
More
going to
in
be
depth.
talking about EQLA and some of the comics. And our guest this week will be Pinchy, who does Ask Pinchy, and she also does a lot of VA work in the fan community. So you guys should join us if you guys are interested. You can hear me rant more about Planet, probably.
and just so you know, we've interviewed Pinchy, so you guys can compare who does it better. I'm just saying that these guys over here, they do a pretty good job.
Boo.
Wow, Ragin.
Oh, also, because I'm on here, I might as well say, you guys want Flavin on your show sometime? Because he's interested in joining you guys.
Sure.
Yeah,
really
man,
cool.
You can just stop on by. This is okay, Choco. This is kind of your house now. You can, if you want to, you can just join at any time. Really.
We've given
know,
you
we
the
should-
key
we
to the
should-
cafe. Get the hell.
We should
in
do
around.
like a host train, like every week, like one of you guys come on our show and one of us comes on your show. Or
That'd be really cool.
That would be
eventually,
really
I know
cool.
we're just going to merge. We're going to become one giant,
Just one
monotonous
giant
piece.
show, and there's going to be fights and crying and
The only
find out
crappy
who the
thing
baby
is,
is.
the crappy thing is though, I can't do that because I am the only one who is able to stream on this show.
Yeah, that's the sad thing.
Mhm.
I need to try that with my computer.
I think
Yeah,
Nick
test that kind of
has
stuff out.
has too much authority over the stream because none of us can access it except for him. We can only access certain parts of the stream.
Yeah, that's true.
Nick has the power.
I'll give you guys
Yeah.
I'll give you guys access pretty much later. If you guys really want it, because like it goes through my email with XSplit. So
Well, it's already 10:30. It's gonna.
Yes.
So
I'm going to be posting the link in our stream, so we'll have like, I don't know, a 10-15 minute after show and just wrap things up and we'll head over to yours.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. And I guess I want to thank you guys for having me as a guest on your show. Thank you guys are the first podcast to ever interview me.
awesome.
Anytime. It was
Yeah.
fun. I had fun.
I had a lot of fun.
Now that we got my crazy blog stuff out of the way, I guess every time I join you guys, we can talk about other random stuff.
Totally.
All right. So anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Be sure to like us on Facebook if you feel like it. Follow us on Twitter, on Tumblr. Join us on our cloud on cloudsdale.org. Look
Go check
look
us
for
out.
us out on Ponyville Live, and have a good evening.
We love you. Stay sexy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Everyone say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye.